It's a right-wing power grab. City districts is a right-wing power grab.
Winning at all levels and building a good bench.
Look, this is going to be very controversial. But
do you believe that politicians should pick their voters, or do you believe voters should pick their politicians? People in Tallahassee currently vote for all 5 city commissioners. They have a voice in their entire city government. I think that our problem in Tallahassee is the current politicians, not the manner of our elections or the size of our commission. But recently, right-wing radio talk show hosts have been floating proposals to redistrict Tallahassee and create more politicians. They hope more Republicans. On the other side of the aisle, just this past week, the Leon County Democratic Party came out and opposed districts. In a Tallahassee Democrat article which stated, expanding the commission and districting Tallahassee voters would be an expensive, divisive waste of time. That's from John Hedrick, who's a state committee man and a former DEC chair. And then right on cue in the article, the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, Evan Power, shows up, of course, endorsing districts. It says, Power, in an interview, said the Leon County GOP has been, quote, pretty adamant for a while that it supports moving to single-member districts, which could open up the door for a Republican to get elected to the commission for the first time in more than 2 decades. Side note, the last Republican elected was John Paul Bailey, and look how that turned out. The Democrat article goes on to say, he added that such a move would create an opportunity for Republicans and, quote, varied opinions that our city desperately, desperately needs. What a ridiculous quote, Evan. So let's figure out where this idea came from. I first heard it from Steve Stewart. Steve is a pay-for-play journalist, yes, that's actually what he calls himself, who receives thousands of dollars every month of our public tax dollars from the city, county, and Blueprint, and they subsidize his lifestyle, his blog, and his radio show. Over the past few years, he has taken a dramatic shift in his coverage. What was once a somewhat credible watchdog outlet has become probably the closest thing we have to a press secretary for Reese Goad. He even sports a city flag on his set, and he really, and I mean really, wants districts. It's almost all he talks about on his radio show anymore. Here's Steve talking to Evan Power about redistricting Tallahassee.
Well, I mean, the biggest option is having districts. We're starting to hear that maybe more people would support that.
I think the greatest travesty we have in Tallahassee is not having districts.
The greatest travesty we have in Tallahassee, not poverty, not gun violence, not crime, not having districts. And just recently, Steve Stewart and Preston Scott openly wondered whether or not changing our city charter to districts will be helpful to elect more Republicans.
You and I have talked off and on over the years about the lack of districts in the city races.
Yes.
Have you done the calculus to determine whether or not it could backfire if this community went to districts?
What do you mean backfire?
And you wonder if you could end up being in a worse situation. There's restraint to the liberal policies that Matlow and Porter want.
Yeah, but you're one vote away from 3-2 the other way, and it would be because of the not having district.
Sometimes I wonder if these guys remember that they're being recorded when they're on the radio. Meanwhile, the actual chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, Evan Power, has been very busy on a year-long media tour advocating for, of course, districting Tallahassee. Here's Evan at a recent Tiger Bay appearance.
Florida House seat has 20,000 people less than a city commission seat in the city of Tallahassee. And that creates barriers to entry for someone who's trying to run for office. Usually city commissioners are from smaller groups of people. It should not cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to run for your city commission to fix problems like parks in your neighborhoods.
Oh, just some parks in our neighborhoods. That sounds nice. But here's actually why he's pushing to District Tallahassee in his own words.
Here's the reality is people don't want to move to Tallahassee because of the crime problem and because of all the systemic problems that happened as we've gone more progressive. People are moving to Florida for the conservative leaning that's been a success nationwide.
You said the quiet part out loud, Evan. We know why they're doing this. There have been efforts all across the state to redistrict, gerrymander, and restrict voting. So let's listen to some more brilliance from these 3 donuts.
The Leon County Democratic Party issued a press release against city districts, and they called it a right-wing power grab.
Wait. Hold on here now. They hold all 5 seats on the city commission, and this is a power grab.
Well, no, this is
Democrats hold every seat in the city commission.
They don't want a voice on the city commission. It's more about the progressives, because what would happen if it was districts? You wouldn't have Jeremy Matlow and Jack Porter on the city commission.
Well, you might not have both of them.
No, you wouldn't. You could have one maybe, because you would have districts that would be represented in different areas around the city.
I just want to fundamentally push back. It's not a power grab when you have 5 out of 5 seats.
You wouldn't have Jeremy Matlow and Jack Porter on the city commission. There you have it. He finally said it out loud. I wonder who else Steve wouldn't want on the city commission. Maybe we should ask him. The Charter Review Commission meets this Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. at City Hall. And look, if you care about these issues, we're going to be live streaming it on Facebook and on Twitter and YouTube, but don't just watch it, guys. We need people to show up to these meetings. We need people's voice to be heard. You know, we can't complain if nobody ever said that they disagree with this. So the meet 6 p.m. at City Hall in the Tallahassee room. But if you can't make it, we will be live streaming it on our Tallahassee. We hope you join us.